Good morning, friends. How are you? Okay, so this is just still a mess for me. I really got to get it together and look up how to fix my camera. So I'm filming on my phone now. I just recorded this huge, long, beautiful speech, and I got to figure out how to recreate it. But welcome. I have missed you guys so much. I feel like it's been forever since I've filmed. I'm pretty sure it's been just a little over a week. And I have been so lazy, haven't gotten anything done. I haven't put out another podcast. I haven't been edited. I've just been seriously just struggling so hard. I've been barely getting meals together. I've been sleeping in, going to bed early. I just lay on the couch. I literally just sit on the couch for hours in the evening. I just have no energy. And it's all just due to the fact that I spent about 2 or 3 weeks straight just loading my body full of junk. So specifically what I think has hit the hardest, because I actually don't eat that terrible most of the time, specifically the hardest was probably the alcohol. And yeah, I did go to Anchorage for a couple of days, and we don't eat the best when we go to Anchorage, but combining that with alcohol just has knocked my body out. I mean, I haven't had an alcohol drink in 9 days, but I still feel like I'm hungover. So it's just one big long hangover for me right now. So I've got to get it together, my friends. Oh my gosh, I need help. I need to pull it together for myself. But also, in the last few weeks, my treadmill has died. So I did just order a new one yesterday, but it says it's going to be 3 weeks for it to get here. I'm like, what? 3 weeks? So hopefully it comes sooner, because honestly, I'm not a let's go outside by myself walking person. But we might have to change that, and we might have to just force it. Most of the time it's pouring rain, and so it really is a deterrent for me to go outside and walk. But if I took the opportunity right now, it is not raining at the moment. Now, honestly, the sky could open up and it could just start flooding out at any second. But yeah, right now it's not raining. I think the part, let's see. Well, anyway, so I did order a new treadmill, and that will be here in a few weeks. So that will help with me get walking again. Also, I think I'm going to see about maybe buying a program to help get my body moving a little bit. I really need to work on my mobility. I need to have some other things in my life besides food. I'm so food focused all the time, it starts to get really draining. I don't know if you ever feel like that, if you ever feel like you're so diet focused, food focused, that it wears on you. It's just draining. And for me, it gets to a place where I was just telling my dad yesterday, I have a fridge stocked full of food that's already cooked, and a freezer full of food. Most of it's already cooked or really easy to cook quickly. And I don't know what to eat. I'm like, what do I eat? I need some structure. I think somewhere over the summer, I have I feel like I've let things go so much that I'm stuck. I just don't. So I need to figure it back out, rein it back in, pull it together, get it. I need to get it together to get my life together. It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't showered yet. I'm going to go do that here in a minute, and I'm going to go have lunch with my mother-in-law. So with intermittent fasting lifestyle, I usually follow Fast Like a Girl right here. And so usually I'm trying in the first 10 days, I'm trying to eat low carb. You're supposed to try to eat keto, but I usually just try to eat low carb. But I think moving into the next cycle, I'm gonna have to rein it in and do hardcore keto, really. I don't know, maybe even start counting carbs for like just a week or something. I don't know, but I really got to rein stuff in. So with the Fast Like a Girl, it's usually like the 10 days. I can do a lot of fasting and eat low carb, and then I'll do like 5 days of less fasting and like regular kind of, 14, 15 hours, maybe 16 hours, and then just kind of eat relaxed, try to eat clean foods. Then I have a 4-day period where I can do like long fasting again, and I'm supposed to eat like keto during that time, even though it ends up being just kind of low carb or regular. And then I have about a 10-day period where I don't fast at all, and I can be more relaxed with my eating. And for the most part, I really try to keep my diet as a whole. Like, I've been trying to clean things up, get the bad oils out, start to incorporate more whole foods. So just kind of sticking more to, I make my own sourdough bread with a low glycemic flour. But the one part I want to get better at is I love Mexican food, so I eat tortillas, and I'd like to get better at making my own tortillas. But so it's like kind of got to go with the flow of the cycle. All I can do is what I can do now. And that's basically just try to kind of start cleaning up the diet. And the first thing I did with that is cut out alcohol, right? So I haven't had any alcohol in 9 days. Don't plan on having any alcohol anytime soon. We'll see what kind of commitment I'm willing to make for that. I'd love to say I could make like a 6-month commitment, and that's going right through the holidays, which is probably the hardest time for anybody to try to cut out alcohol. But if you're going to cut it out, you might as well go during the hardest time, I guess, right? I don't know. I've been trying to cut way back on it and cut it out for long periods of time, but I think I'm approaching a phase in my life where I really just need to cut it out all the way. So I'm not good at making good decisions for myself, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes, because this is really hard for me. At least I have coffee. That's my favorite. But as terrible as I've been feeling every day, like getting up, today I did sleep in, but I think after of the whole last like 8-9 days, today is the least groggy I felt waking up. So I think here we're at a pace where we're like starting to feel better every day. So by the time I start my next cycle, I am really wanting to kick in hard and go back into those 36-hour fast rotations. I wanted to do that this cycle, but for some reason this cycle, like, just kind of everything went out the window. So I have been intermittent fasting like 14 to 16 hours, but I didn't take that opportunity during those times to do the really long fasts when I was able to. So, kind of my bad. But that's just how life goes, right? You can't be perfect all the time. And that's just how life goes. I can't be perfect all the time. If you can be perfect all the time, good for you, because, let me know your secrets in the comments, because I'm just not the one to be perfect. I mess up and fail a lot through this process. The only thing that keeps me going is the fact that I do actually have improvement. I have improved things over time, over the long term. Is my journey slow? Heck yeah, I'm probably slow as a slug, and a slow slug, because I've seen slugs move. They can kind of move fast, but very, very slow. I'm a slow mover. The process in which I can evolve things into a permanent part of my lifestyle is slow. But I'm making it. I'm getting it there. I've been working on this for about 15 years, and I am so far from the person that I used to be. I used to be the person who ate fast food probably 2 to 3 times a day, probably 6 to 7 days a week. So that is where my life was. So to evolve it from a full-time fast food lifestyle to where I am now, it's been a slow process, but I'm getting there. And yeah, And it's scary to share like my innermost dark secrets with you about how I actually eat and what I actually drink. And but I'm here to share with you so that you can hopefully, maybe you'll learn from me and you'll be able to make the decisions faster and get through this faster. Maybe it will help you stay on course of your own health journey. If you're watching me do all the screw ups and just be like, I don't want to be like that lady. Because however I can help you, I want to be here to help. But yeah, I hope you are, don't be too mean to me about how I'm screwing up my life all the time. But, anyways, I hope this is, helping you in some way. I'm struggling. It helps me to like kind of get things off my chest and tell you about things. It's hard and it's scary because, it's just, it's just scary to tell people the truth about who you really are. But I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm pretending to be someone I'm not, because I'm not the perfect one. You're not going to ever see me on this channel all of the sudden be perfect in what I eat and how I exercise. You're not going to see my weight drop 100 pounds in 3 months. Like, that is definitely not going to be me. It's just, I'm not built that way. My mentality's not built that way. My body's not built that way. And so if you're looking to watch someone's journey who's going to fast track it, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. If you can relate to me being a slow mover, you have found your people. I am here to be your people. So, yes. So today I'm going to go have lunch with my mother-in-law. We are going to have beef and vegetable stew with homemade biscuits, and she lives at the local senior center and they have cafeteria there. They make lunch for the public every day. They make lunch for the public Monday through Friday. They do have their, like Meals on Wheels program so that like the seniors all get food 7 days a week. But yeah, for the public, it's open at noon every day for lunch. Best place in town to eat if you ever come to Valdez, eat at the senior center, because 12 o'clock noon is less than $10 to eat lunch, and you get like a 3-course meal. It's like a salad, a main meal, and a dessert. So best place in town to eat. It's my favorite restaurant. Anyways, so that's where I'm going today. And I was trying to get some editing done this morning. Like I said, I had filmed all of this that I just said on my regular camera. And when I went to upload it, it's gone. It's 0 bytes were filmed. There was nothing there. It was like almost 20 minutes. It was like 18 something minutes of me talking. Gone. Just gone. So annoying. I'm telling you, it's so annoying. So I really, really need to spend some time this week and try to figure that out, because I'm about to throw the camera through the window. Not even lying. And I love my camera. I've loved it for so long. I've had this camera. I've been using this one for 2.5 years. And just in the last, 3 to 4 months, it's really been giving me the business. So maybe I'll go buy a new SD card. I did put a new SD card in it after a while of using the one, because I've been using the same SD card for about 1.5 years. So I had put a new one in there, but immediately it started doing the same thing with that one. I'm so frustrated with that right now. I just am. At least I have my phone, so I can record on my phone. And I feel like until I figure this out, this is where I'm going to have to do it, because having to double film, it just takes so much more time. So I'm 16 minutes in here. So now I've already been filming here for more than a half an hour, and I'm only getting 1 clip out of it. And it just, yeah. I don't know what to do. All right. Let's see. What time is it? It is 11:07. Okay, I gotta go get in the shower because if I'm gonna go to lunch, and it already started raining again. So, well, I'm so happy to be back filming. I actually feel really good this morning filming. I was nervous yesterday because yesterday I was just feeling so ick. I was feeling ick yesterday, and I was already knowing that I had planned to film today, but all day yesterday I was just thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through it? How am I going to have energy to film? How am I going to not look like a blob, you know, of just, you know, I don't know. My life. Okay. But seriously, I'm going to go take a shower. We're going to go to lunch. And then we do have to work on editing this second podcast today. I'm going to just, I think, focus on editing podcasts today and tomorrow. And then I'll edit this video on at the end of the week before I upload it. So, and what else? Yeah, so that's it. Let's go to lunch. Well, let's go get cleaned up and get some new fresh clothes on. We'll see. Hey friends. Okay, still filming with my phone, so I'm gonna try. I didn't bother charging my mic, so I'm gonna try to speak loud enough that hopefully everything will be all right with the sound. I've got to get dinner started. Try to make it so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm exhausted. Lunch was great. Yummy. Had like a ground beef stew over steamed rice with a biscuit, a salad. But I gotta get dinner going now. We're gonna do a ham and potato casserole because, yeah, I've got a couple pounds of potatoes I gotta use up, and I cooked a big ham last week, I don't know. I cooked a big ham. Anyways, I got about this much meat left. So we're gonna make a casserole. The last few hours I have spent trying to figure out tech stuff, internet stuff. Like, I'm like so not good at it. So it's gonna take a while, but the gist of what I'm trying to do is, and I don't want to waste any time on this, so I don't want to waste any time getting to tell you about it because it's kind of short notice. For me, it's still like almost 2 weeks out. It's August 19th, but I think it would start on a Sunday, so less than 2 weeks from now. I thought it'd be fun because that's when my cycle's about to probably start around then. So I figured we'll do something on September 1st. So by the time you see this, I'll put this out Saturday morning. So it'll be like a week's notice basically to join this little challenge with me. And I just want to take like 7 days and just focus. And I need to do really long fasts. So I'm going to focus on the 36-hour fast, and it's going to be 7 days. So we're going to do day 1 is an eating day, and then all the odd number days will be eating days. The even number days will be fasting days. So it'll basically be on day 1, I'll stop eating at like 7 p.m. and then go all the way until 7 a.m. the next day after. And I thought it would just be fun to create like a little Facebook group and just have some of you guys, my closest little friends, in this Facebook group with me. You can cheer me on, I can cheer you on, you could do it with me. You can just get kind of a closer, more inside look at what I'm actually doing. So I'll be going live in the Facebook group. I will be posting throughout the day in the Facebook group, and it'll just be like a nice little 1 week challenge. And I want to invite you to join me to do it with me. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get you in the group with me. So at the very least, there will be at least a Facebook link for the group page in there when I create that. So other than that, there will be some sort of link in the description. Maybe I'll pin it in a comment so you could get it there too as well. Yeah, because I thought it'd be fun to do something kind of like together, you know, collectively, and just get closer and get more familiar with one another, right? So, because you only get to see like a little portion of what I'm showing you. And it's usually showing you what I'm eating or telling you about how I messed up. So let me get these potatoes peeled. I need a cutting board. Who's with me? Who wants to do alternate day fasting with me? 36 hours, just 3 of them. I figured that way, in case I start my cycle early, it's still gonna be okay for me to do it like a little bit towards the end. Yeah, but figured this would really help me get back on track with my intermittent fasting cycling. And yeah, we just want to go into this holiday season just as healthy as possible. And I still need to figure out what my workout routine is going to be. Like today, I pretty much have done nothing. And it's raining right now. I was kind of hoping, I don't even know how to talk. I was kind of hoping that it would like stop by this evening so that I can ask my husband to go with me on a walk. But I mean, we can still go for a walk in the rain. I just don't like to. I just don't like to. All right, got the potatoes all peeled. So many ingredients to this thing, so I'm gonna grate some cheese. I'm only supposed to use like a cup, so maybe like a third of this block, quarter, maybe half of this little chunk I just cut off. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's probably like 2 cups. I guess let's go ahead and start with the ham. I think it's supposed to be around a pound of meat, and this is probably 2 or 3 pounds. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, this is 2 pounds. Almost 2. This is almost 2 pounds. So. Kind of hard to chunk that out a little bit, huh? Chunky piece of fat right there. This ham is so nice and smoky smelling. Let's get some more. I'm supposed to cook this onion first, but I'm not gonna. So we'll see how it goes. Because I'm baking this for an hour. If I cut it up small, I feel like it'll be fine. And now the potatoes. I'm just gonna chunk these into pieces that are kind of like bite size. Not trying to get them super even or anything, just a little bit diced up. I could do them really chunky too and just like quarter them or something. But yeah, I think they just cook a little bit more evenly when they're diced up smaller. And they can be really spread throughout. So sliced, diced is my preferred method of cooking this with this casserole. And I usually actually do kielbasa sausage, but since I had ham, we're doing that. Something kind of easy, but you know, obviously it takes a little bit of prep. Probably could do this in a crock pot too, if I had one, but I don't have one right now. In fact, it was supposed to be on my list for Anchorage, and I forgot to put it on the list, so we didn't get one. Okay, now that we got all of this together, we can season it. Let's see, I think I need a spoon. So I'm gonna do a little salt, like just a pinch, because potatoes need to be well salted. And I'm gonna use some ranch seasoning. And it says a packet, and I think a packet's about 3 tablespoons, so. And of course, garlic, granulated garlic, because I love it. Lots of black pepper. It's probably like a heaping teaspoon. We'll give this a toss with the seasonings. Make sure those potatoes get all nice and coated. have a half a cup of unsweetened almond milk and a quarter cup of butter melted in here. So we're just gonna pour this over. It didn't really say to heat up the milk, but the butter needed to melt and the butter was frozen. So I figured the milk and butter could go together. All right, let's dump it in here. Funny enough, I'm actually going to make probably a chicken and broccoli casserole tomorrow, so don't worry, I didn't forget about this cheese that's right here. We're just gonna put that on top. All right, I'm just gonna cover this up with some foil, and it's gonna go in the oven for about an hour for like 375. About 20 minutes before it's no, cover it for an hour. I mean, and then yeah, that's what I do. Cover it for an hour, and then I take the top off and let it go for about another 15 minutes and let it get all nice and golden brown on top. But that seal with the foil like really helps keep all that moisture in there, so it cooks the potatoes through, because potatoes take a long time to cook in the oven. Yeah. All right, let's get that in the oven. Oh, and I did take out, I'm gonna do some cauliflower and some broccoli. I'm gonna steam that up to go with it. So, you know, we are having a veg with it, but that will hopefully that lasts for a couple of days. I need to make at least a couple lunches out of it. It'd be nice if I could make 4 lunches out of it, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. It'll just be depending on how hungry these folks are tonight. Yeah, let me get this in the oven real quick. Oh, it is coming up on my time to make some bread. So I'll probably do that next video, make some bread. Like I said, I'm exhausted, so my kitchen's a disaster, as you can see, but I can't promise I'm gonna actually do any dishes tonight. If, you know, I probably should, but at the very least, I'll wash dishes tomorrow. But yeah, I'm so excited. If you guys wanna do this with me, it's just 7 days, so I figured what I'll do is start like maybe a day ahead or a couple days ahead. And was thinking starting on the 1st, but it might actually be like, well, maybe we'll see we'll see if it's 7 days or 8 days or 9 days or whatever. Because I was thinking we needed a day for prep, so like make sure we have our meals planned out, our groceries planned out, blah blah blah, the day before. So then we can start with a full day of healthy eating before we do the 36-hour fast, because you want to make sure you're getting in lots of good healthy food. And what I mean is like no toxic ingredients, and you want to make sure it's extremely low carb, like we're talking keto, and you want to get all the, you know, try to do as much glucose reduction as possible, because it does make the fast easier. So, but I figured, you know, I'd go into like an explanation of it, and, you know, so maybe like 2 pre-days before the actual fast day. And then the fast day, you know, we'll work through the fasting stuff, but maybe I will set up a tentative meal plan that I'm doing for my eating days. So I figured if I'm calling it 7 days, we're gonna do eating day, not eating day, eating day, not eating day, eating day, not eating day, and then one final eating day. And then, yeah. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be a everlasting project. I was thinking about doing like the full month cycle, so that would probably be good too, but I didn't want to ask people to commit to staying with it for a whole month. But unless you think you want to do that, I'll just create the group. I'll invite you to come to the group, so you come get in my group and we'll do it together. And I imagine that, you know, it's only going to be probably a small amount of people in there. So I think that will make it really nice and intimate, that we can like get to know each other and we can really support each other and share our experiences. Like, you know, if you're an expert faster, get in my group and help me do this. Like I need all the help I can get. yeah, if you're new to fasting, you know, we'll work through this together. I have a great beginner fasting guide that I'm going to link in the Facebook page. But anyways, I'm just kind of excited. I want to try some new things that includes getting a little bit closer with my YouTube family, and this is my start. So I want you to join me in my Facebook group and do intermittent fasting for a full week, maybe a full month. We're going to do the full menstrual cycle. Whether you have a cycle or not, you can come in and join this group, and yeah, we'll just work within it where everybody's at. So I'm going to be doing a lot of fasting, and I'm going to be doing my best to get into that keto eating, and yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. So like I said, you don't have to be keto to do it. You can just come in and join the intermittent fasting. You don't have to do the 36-hour fast, but you can join the group and still do the intermittent fasting, and we can share nutrition information, we can share recipes, we can share our experiences and what works, what doesn't work for each of us, and just keep each other accountable, right? So super fun, super awesome. So I think it'd be super fun. I'm really excited, and I hope some of you join me. All right, I don't know, I might go look at the computer again for a while and try to figure out what it is I'm doing wrong, trying to get this technical stuff set up for this Facebook group. But I want to get this Facebook group up soon. As soon as I have the Facebook group ready, I'm gonna actually post it in the community posts. Maybe I'll do a short also, but then you'll also see it on this regular YouTube video that will be out on Saturday. So I promise we're gonna do this on Saturday because I want to make sure this information gets out as soon as possible, since September 1st is like right around the corner. It is coming so fast. I can hardly believe this year is like 2/3 of the way done. Can you believe it? Like, that's crazy insane. I feel like it was just February, March, like, oh yeah. All right, be back. Hi. Hi.
That's not where that goes.
Stop that.
Goes over there with all the other ones.
We'll have to add to the collection.
You gonna help me do dishes? Thank you.
Okay, let's get some food.
In advance.
I'm gonna go get undressed and I'll be back out. Okay. All right, dinner's ready. We're gonna eat. We got cauliflower, broccoli, potatoes, and ham. Let's taste that.
You were recording?
Mm-hmm. Always. You said. Always be filming.
No. How is it? Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The ham is super smoky. Yeah, it's really good. I'm a fan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Good morning, friends. Breakfast, brunch time, whatever. I made myself some leftover gyros. I'm using low carb tortillas, cheddar cheese. I made homemade tzatziki sauce, and it's the gyro meat I bought at Costco. And I don't have any more plates left. All of my dishes are dirty. So I'm using my Christmas plate here for that. And then I also had some tater tots left. So I'm using a big giant bowl to put my tater tots in. I don't have any stuff left to use. But I'm so hungry this morning. Let's see how this is. I didn't have any gyros on the night I made this because I ate a late lunch and I just wasn't hungry for dinner. Oh, and we went to the movies, so I was like, I didn't want to eat dinner because I knew I was gonna eat popcorn. I didn't want to feel overstuffed or full or anything, so. Oh. I'm using low carb tortillas because I find it actually just tastes better with low carb tortilla. or homemade pita bread. I really just do not care for store-bought pita bread. I find it to be really dry and just doesn't taste very good. So it's got to be the tortilla or homemade pita bread for me. And most of the time I'm too lazy to make homemade pita bread. I don't know why. Like the flatbreads is like more work for me than making regular bread. So we're gonna have to get over that because we got to start making our own flatbreads. There's always some kind of work or something happening outside, especially in the summer because summer is so short. So neighbors, city, everybody's got to get stuff done. So there's always noise going on outside. In fact, I'm quite surprised you're not hearing lawnmowers right now in the background. But maybe because it's a Tuesday, it's the middle of August, and school's back in session, so people aren't at home as much. Every time I want to talk, the beeping. All right, well, I'm gonna sit here, finish my breakfast. I'm gonna finish my YouTube video that I'm watching here. It's, I love watching Omar Al-Katori. He's amazing. He has great guests on his podcast all the time. So I'm gonna sit here and watch that, finish my breakfast, and we'll come back and have a little chat. Let's see if I can get comfy here. Woo. It's kind of like making a shadow on me right there, isn't it? Oh, kind of laying on my table. It's okay. Oh, my goodness. Hopefully I don't look too bald here. Look at that. I'm so bald on top. Jeez. All right, friends, breakfast is over. It's almost noon, which is why I just wanted to sit in the sun here for a minute. Oh, I really just have all my windows open. It's breezy and sunny, and it smells like fall outside. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I woke up at, I don't know, like 6 this morning, and I felt good. I didn't feel super groggy or cranky or anything. It was nice. I'm like really surprised actually. But I could kind of tell yesterday I woke up, like I said, feeling a little bit groggy, and it took me a little bit to like kind of get going in the morning, but not really that much. Not like the day before was not good. I woke up and it took me like probably about 2 hours before I felt like a human being. So, yeah, just the alcohol really takes it out of me. I'm surprised. I actually bounced back within a week and a half, which is pretty short for me. About a year and a half ago, that after Christmas 22, it took me pretty much all of January and then into February a little bit before I started to bounce back from that holiday junk food, just partying mode. And I'm pretty sure all that whole holiday season, pretty sure it just felt like crap the whole time. I just felt so bad the whole time. I was exhausted. I had zero energy. I just couldn't function in life hardly. Like seriously, I don't even know how I made it through that holiday season with filming and just regular family stuff, because the party mode just really had brought me down. And it was just a really rough holiday. I think that year we started our party season early. I think we started probably in September, and our party season just went on. And so like by the time the new year came in 23, like it took well over a month to recover from that. And then kind of same thing last year. We had a little bit of party mode there. Like the end of the year was kind of like, it's always the end of the year is like our party mode season. And this January, same thing. It took me, I think, more than 3 weeks to recover, about 3 weeks to recover. And so same kind of thing at graduation time when I had all the family here and we were kind of in party mode then. It took me, I think almost 3 weeks to recover, about 3 weeks to recover from that too. Maybe almost 4. 3. So this is like coming off of this kind of like couple of weeks of being in like a summer party mode. I'm surprised 10 days. Like, so as I'm incorporating more longer fasts, the healing benefits aren't what's happening in the moment. The healing benefits are futuristic. So having done these longer fasts, I did a 7-day fast this year. I'm pretty sure I did a 3-day fast earlier this year. I did, quite a few 36-hour fasts. I did some 40-ish hour fasts, like 42-hour fasts, 36 to 42-hour fasts, right? So doing these longer fasts and healing my body, even though I haven't been like on point all the time, like I said, I've been having the party modes where we're drinking alcohol and we're eating lots of carbs and probably not great oils and fried foods and things like that. With the longer fasts, my body's actually bouncing back faster than it has before. So since before I started my fasting lifestyle, I've been intermittent fasting as a lifestyle for a 1.5 years this month. So August is my 1.5 year mark of fasting like a girl. And yeah, so I owe my recovery to that, to these longer fasts, to keeping up with the fasting lifestyle. And I have my little bouts of where I like to go in my party mode, and then I come out of it and I'm down for a little bit, but that little bit is getting shorter and shorter. So it started out at being over a month, and this is before I started my fasting lifestyle, to then only being a few weeks, to now only being a couple of weeks or less than a couple of weeks. So, and not that I plan on continuing like party lifestyle, because it's not the goal, I promise. But, when you have a certain lifestyle habit of, 35 years, you've been living the same way, it's not exactly going to go away overnight. So, I come from a family that likes to indulge, and we like to indulge especially as a family. So when we all get together, watch out, because we will be indulging. And that's just the lifestyle. Like I said, I came from I don't know if I remember if I said this in this one or in one I lost, but I came from a lifestyle between probably 25 to 30 years ago, probably 25 years ago still. My lifestyle was eating fast food 2 to 3 times a day, 6 to 7 days a week. So I basically went from eating a lifestyle of full-time fast food to now I'm trying to eat mostly home-cooked foods and mostly whole foods. So I'm not perfect at it. I hardly ever go to a fast food restaurant anymore, and really that's probably due to the fact that there just isn't any here. Our town, our fast food restaurant, our chain fast food restaurant is Subway. That's the kind of fast food they let be here. So McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, we don't even have Jack in the Box. There might be Carl's Jr., I really don't know. There's an Arby's, but those places, those are all in the big city, in the big town. Yeah, we don't have those here in my little town. So we don't really go to fast food anymore. And when we used to go to town all the time, we would probably hit fast food once or twice. But now, this last year, we don't even really hit fast food ever either. So I can't say I'll never eat fast food, because when we are traveling as a group and a family, we have kids in the family. So the kids, they love the fast food. It's easy for the parents to do that. And it's because we live in a town where we don't have that all the time. It's easy to just go like, yeah, it's a one-time thing for the next 3 or 6 months, whatever. So, when we go to fast food restaurants, of course I'm going to get something. I'm not insane. I love McDonald's. That's my jam right there. I can't go to a McDonald's and just watch everybody else eat it and not get anything. That's just weird. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll get there, but I'm not there right now. That's just me. But I just wanted you to know that just because there might not be like visual clues of that the fasting lifestyle is working for me, don't think it's not working for me, because it is. If it wasn't working, I wouldn't be doing this. Really the reason I got into this was to help with some of my perimenopusal symptoms. Gosh, I didn't even know I had frozen shoulder for almost 3 years before I knew what it was. My doctor couldn't help me. She didn't know what the heck it was. You know, it was just things that happened. And I had frozen shoulder for 2.5 years, almost constantly, until I figured out intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting helped it all go away. So in basically almost 4 years ago this month, 4 years ago in September, I went to my doctor and told her about all these symptoms I was having. Anxiety. Oh my gosh, 2020. I mean, who wasn't having anxiety in 2020? I mean, if you didn't have anxiety, I mean, were you even here? Like, 2020 was insane for everyone. But it was just a new feeling to me. I'd never had this kind of anxiety before. I had crazy anxiety. I was having heart palpitations. I was having frozen shoulder. What else? I was so tired. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I was having terrible brain fog. I could barely think. I could barely function. I just was feeling depressed. I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe it was like, 2020 pandemic, mixed with getting like empty nest syndrome, and like my kids were all out of high school and kind of grown, and just I had a lot going on that year, as everybody did, right? But I needed some help, and thankfully my doctor was one to know me, and she knew that I really like to do things naturally, holistically, and I wasn't a fan of medications or things like that. So we went the route of, like, she's like, just start trying to reduce your stress. So let's reduce your stress by getting some physical activity in. And I started doing some dance little workouts and things like that, which was fine, and it did help, but it wasn't like fully what I needed. And I just kept complaining about my shoulder hurting, and kept complaining about this anxiety. So her call for the reducing anxiety, heart palpitations, and things like that was, do this workout routine, reduce your caffeine intake, reduce your alcohol intake, and just all these things. And I'm just going, I did all these things, and guess what? Nothing changed. Nothing really changed that much. Exercising, of course, did help. It did help a lot of the just depressive symptoms. The depression I was feeling, it really did help with the depression symptoms. It did not help with the anxiety. It did not help with the not being able to sleep. It did not help with the heart palpitations. It did not help with the frozen shoulder. It did not help with the fatigue. I was still having all these other symptoms. I didn't have any idea what was happening to my body. I just felt like a completely different person. I didn't know what was happening to me. I still feel like a totally different person than I was in my 30s. I just can't with this perimenopause. It's just so frustrating. But, my doctor tried to help, and I could have asked her for medications. In fact, I think at one point we did try taking some progesterone or something. That did not help. It just made things worse. And it just turned out like I wasn't really low on anything. It was just because my hormones are just like this. Sometimes I had normal levels. Sometimes I didn't have, it's just all over the place when you have perimenopause. And when I found Dr. Mindy Pelz's book, Fast Like a Girl, when I found her YouTube channel, and I just started implementing just tiny little baby steps, I could feel the difference. And when I had been doing it for a few months, I actually really, really noticed lots of differences. So that's what kept me motivated to keep going. This is probably the plan I've stuck to the longest when it comes to anything health oriented, that's diet, nutrition type of thing. And I have gotten a lot of positive results. My husband, he's had tons of positive results, and he loves to do the longer fasts. And he loves it. It's amazing for him. My daughter, she just started this summer, so she's been doing it about 3 full months now. Let's see, she's been doing it 3 full months now, probably about this week. And she's gotten a regular menstrual cycle back. She has PCOS, and one of her worst symptoms of PCOS was she wasn't having a period for about every 4 months. And it was just due to like really high stress college situation, and even high school, because she was like, when I think about it, I probably haven't had a regular menstrual cycle since the beginning of high school. So I think just high school and then college, the pandemic and all the things, and it's just a lot. And she is finally, she's not ever going to be cured of her PCOS. It's going to be always something she has to manage, but I think she's realizing that this lifestyle is a really good way to possibly manage it. And so she's not even really trying to do anything, because she works a lot and doesn't have time to barely shower and do laundry. So she is just allowing me to, I make her meals, I tell her what her time schedule is for eating, and she abides by it, and it's working for her. So she just had her first, I think her cycle was like 31 days this last time. So that was amazing for her. So it's really, her cycle's really starting to get back into a normal rhythm. And that's really going to help, kind of hone everything else in for her, so she can begin to really hone in on those sex hormones, and really focus on her insulin and her cortisol. And so I think just being home and getting on a real good cycling routine is really amazing for her. She loves it. She feels like healthier. She feels like she's losing weight. And so it's making her really happy. And that's, awesome, because, I'm her mom. I want her to be okay. And I don't want her to allow this to get out of control where it's going to cause future problems. So she's having a really good time, and she's only been doing it a few months. So, like I said, after that 3-month mark, you really start to feel the results start coming. And would I like to see more visible results and figure out the weight loss part? Sure, and I will. It's just not happening in the time manner that I want it to. So for people who can do it faster and get there faster, awesome for them. I'm just a slow burner, I guess. I'm a slow goer, and that's just how I'm gonna have to be. But I see results all the time. But I see them in myself, because they're internal results, not something you can always see physically. But that's okay, we'll get there. But anymore, I don't have frozen shoulder anymore. I still get bouts of bad brain fog, but it's really few and far between now. I don't have heart palpitations anymore. Can't even remember the last time I had heart palpitations. It's been a really long time. Anxiety. I still get anxiety, but not to the extent I was having it before, and it doesn't last nearly as long. Depression. I think that's pretty much gone. I still get the fatigue, but that's definitely dietary related. So it definitely has to do with what I'm ingesting in my body, for sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with that, the fatigue part. Because I can go down really hard. And so depending on what I've been ingesting in my body will determine my hormones and how they're fluctuating. And so that definitely has an effect on fatigue for me. Sleeping is still, getting the right sleep is still a mystery to me, because I think there's definitely a balance with what type of food I'm ingesting plus the amount of physical activity. So something to keep in mind. But more often than not, I've been sleeping better more often. And like I said before, I have the luxury of being able to sleep in the morning when I need to. So if for whatever reason I have a hard time getting to sleep, or I wake up in the middle of the night and I have a hard time getting back to sleep, I have the luxury of sleeping in the morning when I need to get that extra sleep. So that's just a blessing that I have right now. But yeah, so I am making progress in my fasting journey. So I'm looking forward to my next round of 36-hour fasts. I hope you decide to join me because it would be super fun to have some friends to do this with. So I will put a link of how to get into the Facebook page below. There's a few questions you have to answer to get admitted into there. And when that happens, when you get admitted, we won't be starting until no earlier than August 31st, but officially September 1st, but maybe some posts August 31st if you get in there before then. My husband and my daughter were my test people to get into the so they've already been in there. They're already making little posts, and so they're like, hello, is anybody here? I'm like, it's just a test, but so they're my little tester supporters that are going to be in there. My husband will probably do the 36-hour fasting rotation with me, and my daughter will probably not, because we tried to get her to do a 24-hour fast one time. She thought she was going to die and said she wasn't ready to do those. So it might be a little longer for her. I'm thinking in October, when she's probably done with her summer job, maybe we'll be able to get her on some longer fasts with us. But until then, I hope to see you in the Facebook group, and I will definitely see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I love you so much. Bye.